Welcome to the Zone. Today we'll be diving deep into one of my favorite artifacts and its parent Anomaly, the compass. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe. It sounds cliche, but it really helps the channel out. Without further ado, let's dive in. First appearing in Clear Sky, the compass artifact is an extremely rare artifact that is mentioned by a stalker called Forrester, who uses the artifact to guide himself out of a space anomaly. The artifact was said to have been granted or gifted to him, as if the zone itself chose Forrester personally to be the owner of this powerful artifact. The artifact is first seen in action in Clear Sky, used to guide a group of lost mercenaries out of the space anomaly, using the compass artifact after Scar recovers it from some unsavory stalkers who mugged Forrester. After Scar successfully retrieves the artifact for Forrester, Forrester shows Scar a path to the city of Lemensk. In Call of Pripyat, Alexander is also brought to a stalker who seems to have been chosen by the Zone to help him navigate the perilous path he must take. Alexander is pointed to a stalker called Noah, who is in possession of at least 2 compass artifacts. Once meeting with Noah, he leads Alexander through a field of burners and, finally, into a space anomaly, which acts as a teleporter, taking Alexander to the area where Stingray 3 crashed. It's clear from the description of the artifact in Call of Pripyat that the compass artifact is used to find paths through anomaly fields and traverse space anomalies. A rare artifact. It's been several years since one was found. The artifact can locate gaps in anomaly fields, effectively acting as a compass. It is believed that it can help one traverse the most complex anomaly fields completely unharmed. However, very few know how to handle it properly. The last part of the description denotes that there are very few who actually know how to use this artifact to its full potential. While stalkers like Scar and Alexander may use the artifact for its physical enhancing capabilities, stalkers like Noah and Forrester are able to use it to a much greater extent in their trips throughout the zone. Why these two are able to use it and not others is not entirely made clear, but it is possible that these two have some connection to the zone that others do not. Forrester in Clear Sky is said to have developed a deep connection to the zone, to such an extent that he's able to know secret pathways to not well-known locations like Lemensk. It's also noted that Forrester seems to be able to go unnoticed by mutants, who would otherwise attack a regular stalker. It's possible that Forrester is simply used to the zone and has adapted to life in it, considering that he has been there since before the second disaster. But it seems strange that Noah seems to share many of these characteristics as well. Noah, like Forrester, is able to find his way into hard-to-reach parts of the zone, as well as possess special knowledge of huge emissions and mutant attacks. Noah even has a pet pseudo-dog that he keeps, which could be due to a connection to the zone, similar to Forrester's. Both of these characters have similar traits that define them, and they are able to find and seemingly utilize compass artifacts with little to no issue. The ability to traverse the zone is something that many, even with state-of-the-art anomaly detecting technology, are unable to successfully do. Considering how desirable an artifact like this would be to stalkers operating in the zone, it's curious how the artifacts always end up in the hands of those who have some special connection to it. Other than stealing, bartering, or being gifted a compass artifact, the only way to acquire one that we know of is to venture inside of the pocket dimension, produced by a space anomaly. If Forrester is telling the truth about how he came across the artifact, it could mean that Noah also found it in a similar way, which would explain his lack of concern at jumping into a space anomaly and his apparent insanity. The question remains, however, if spending an extended amount of time inside of the space anomaly changes the person to have these qualities, or if the qualities of the person trapped inside the space anomaly determine the likelihood of a compass artifact spawning. It is also possible that the artifacts randomly spawn inside these pocket dimensions, and Forrester and Noah are simply lucky, while so many other stalkers are not. But the fact remains that these two share so many qualities, it seems to point to them being special in some way, or perhaps changed by their time in the zone. The space anomaly itself is also a mystery. There's no apparent factor that determines if a space anomaly will be the variety that teleports material across great distances, or if it'll be the kind which causes a loop in space-time. Few have ever returned from being trapped inside of one, and of these lucky few, the only one that we know of for sure escaping with the compass artifact is Forrester. It is also interesting to point out that the Svarog detector is able to destabilize space anomalies by utilizing a specific frequency that causes the anomaly to explode, releasing what is trapped inside, as was the case with General Tachenko and his men. Inside of the anomaly itself, stalkers have reported an environment that looks very similar to the outside world. When the space anomaly that Tachenko and his men were trapped in was destabilized, the only objects that come out are the bodies and equipment that they carried. It is possible that the space anomaly somehow distinguishes between matter that has entered from the outside and matter that has somehow been altered by space-time distortion. There's no real data regarding the space anomaly, but we can hypothesize how it might work given the information that we do have. One possible explanation for the discernment between types of matter could be that the space anomaly is not actually a physical dimension at all, but rather a manifestation of a type of noospheric energy. A person or object trapped inside of a space anomaly could simply be floating inside of it, experiencing some element of the noosphere directly. This energy could create some kind of illusion where the victim perceives that it is trapped in this endless loop in a parallel reality. It would also explain how the space-time loop that stalkers experience is physically possible, requiring no real separate dimension to exist. It solves the problem of the endless loop, which allows a person to move freely inside the space anomaly, but at the same time allows time to pass as it normally would, leading to death via dehydration or starvation. However, this theory does not account for the other types of space anomalies that actually do manipulate space-time via teleportation. A more likely possibility is that it is a combination of this noosphere energy and an actual ability to manipulate space-time in the physical world that allows the space anomaly to exist and function as it does. Inside of this separate dimension, space and time have been warped to such an extent that the reality inside of the space anomaly has taken on different characteristics and fundaments than those of our own reality. It's obvious that the matter inside of the space anomaly is similar, if not identical, to our own, as stalkers are able to breathe the air inside of it. So why is it that the material that falls out of the space anomaly by the cooling tower in Yanov seems to be all from the group of stalkers that entered it? One possibility is that the matter inside of the space anomaly is similar to our own, but imbued with some noospheric energy. And when the anomaly collapses, the contents that are purely material are teleported outside of the space anomaly dimension and left behind. Another more interesting hypothesis that I have is that the objects inside of the space anomaly are both inside of the anomaly itself and also inside the pocket dimension that it creates. The ability to teleport objects is apparent to any stalker who has been around a space anomaly, and it's not a stretch to imagine a world in which the space anomaly uses this power to suspend its victims inside, while allowing them to interact with another dimension at the same time. The victims remain in the physical world, trapped within the event horizon of the space anomaly, but at the same time are bilocated inside of another world, destined to journey through the second dimension until their bodies in the physical world die from dehydration. All of this is speculation, of course. Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks to all the patrons who made this possible. And until next time, friends, I'll see you in the zone.